Jason Lee Podcast.
All right, we're back for an all-new podcast. I know those of you watching the Jason Lee Podcast is wondering, like, why are we getting another episode on Mondays? We're now going to start doing 2 episodes a week. Why? Because more content means more money. No, it does mean more money. But we also want to deliver more episodes for you. Shout out to our Facebook community. You're really active over there, making sure that you're seeing these episodes by sharing them. So if you're watching us on Facebook, please share. If you're listening to this everywhere that podcasts are streamed, please share a link with a friend. I don't know. What do you tell people? Is that what you do?
Mm-hmm.
How do people share podcasts? Do they send links to podcasts to people?
I think so. Yeah. Links, clips.
Like an episode or something?
Exactly.
Nobody's ever sent me an episode of a podcast saying you have to hear this. Now, I've had people send me links to like YouTube shows or whatever, or just say, oh, did you hear they talked about you here, there? I guess that's what you do. And shout out to our TikTok community. I guess I'm the king of TikTok. Now, I did say I was the king of the internet, and TikTok does live on Beyonce's internet somewhere. We're here, and now both shows are going to be different. One show you're going to get is going to be topical, where we talk about whatever's in the news related to celebrities, politics, pop culture, whatever. And then the other is going to be topics that we know will make you go crazy. Or at least have a conversation about it.
Have conversation.
All right. Before we get into that, can I just tell you, shout out to everybody in their 40s who's tired, because today I am tired. And somebody asked me, was it someone who just asked me, is it because I'm getting old? Was that Johnny? Johnny asked me, are you tired because you're getting old? First of all,
that's shady.
Let's be
Johnny.
Extraordinarily clear. Yes, I'm 46 years old. I think part of aging, one of those things is getting tired. But when you're going to the gym every day, when you're not eating all the time because you're doing shows back to back and you're working, and you're older and you're out till 3 a.m. with Bobby Lights.
And that bounce back is not the same.
That bounce back is not the same. Are you afraid of, Marina, how old are you?
30.
Okay, and you're
44.
Allegedly.
Oh my God.
Are you afraid of aging?
No.
Mm-mm.
No?
Mm-mm.
So do you see yourself? Because I saw Ricky Lake the other day. Mind you, back in the 90s, I was on the Ricky Lake show twice. Please don't go look up those episodes. One of them I was acting
Wait,
straight.
I'm
I
gonna
had a
look it
girlfriend. No. Leave it alone.
You acted, you was giving trade.
Now you're a trade hunter.
First of all, we forgave you when you talked about the fields.
Okay.
I
Then
think
it was the lineup yesterday.
Then the other podcast where we talked about the lineup, as in criminals.
Can't pick him out of a lineup. Criminals come in all
Picking like
colors.
cotton.
Oh my God. All right. You know what?
I
Now I'm
think
just catching strays.
Yes. Oh, so now you're bringing up gun violence in our communities. Okay, speaking like somebody's straight from Chirac. All right, no, but no.
Off limit words.
Yeah, please.
Like in Breakfast Club, those sheets.
Mm-hmm. And she's in an interracial relationship.
Oh my God. We're about to get to
which
that
God?
topic,
The Catholic God or the Kojic Pentecostal Kojic rolling around on the ground like Rogina's God?
What is that?
Rob's mom.
Oh.
It's not a that. She's a she.
She is a she.
All right. Anyway, they will hold on and keep that thought. But
God.
So I saw a picture of Ricky Lake the other day, and I remember Ricky from when she was, Hairspray, young, vibrant. She was dating that man who was no good for her, and she was plump. And then she lost all the weight, and then now she's hair full of gray. She's like older. She still looks cute though.
I haven't seen her, but did you see Pamela Anderson with no makeup? Just now at the fashion show, but she made it a thing to not wear any makeup, but she aged, but it's just weird to see people actually age naturally.
I'd rather see Pamela Anderson without hepatitis. See, I know everything going on this internet. Y'all be acting like y'all forgot. Remember when she was sucking Tommy up on the boat?
Should we hit allegedly?
Pamela Anderson, Google it. She has hepatitis. You didn't know that?
No.
Doesn't it say it? Google Pamela Anderson hepatitis. Do you know how to spell hepatitis? HEPA.
No.
Just put Pamela Anderson HEPA. HEPA. What does it say?
Oh my God, I contracted hepatitis C while sharing a tattoo needle with my ex-husband, Tommy. But she's blaming it on the needle.
She was
A tattoo
tattoo
needle,
needle.
allegedly.
Either way, let's move on, okay? No health reading here at the table. I'm just saying Healthcare Unlocked is a thing. You'll be hearing about it soon. And I'm not making jokes of anybody that has hepatitis. I'm just taking jokes at the fact that y'all keep questioning my plethora of information that I have about what's happening on this here internet. But no, I saw Ricky Lake. Ricky Lake she's aging. So when I look at like people like Ricky or like Rob, you know, well, the white hair coming in.
Oh, you are on one today.
Bitch, you try.
No, I'm just saying, like, aging is a thing that we all have, you know, hopefully have the privilege of being able to see, but you're not afraid of it?
No, not at all.
Really?
The thing I'm afraid of is like starting to lose people as you get older. That's the thing that I'm like, oh, that is freaking me out.
Yeah. Well, I've been losing people my whole life. So it's like they've been dying young. So it's like, okay, but yes, more people that you grew up with are getting older and do die. I found out yesterday somebody passed away who I worked with. I'm like, dang, that's so crazy. And he was only 59. I'm 46. That's 13 years away. So when you start thinking about it like that, in that context, I'd be looking at people like, man, I just wish that people would embrace aging. I'm trying to embrace it. I will say, you know, when you think about the bounce back, speaking of bouncing back, what happens when you throw that ass in a circle or you're getting hit from the back, Rob? And then all of a sudden now, you know, you have a broken pelvic bone. Like you can't go to the ER with the excuses that we used to when we had those minor STDs. You know what I mean?
You know, I think just freely go in there and get checked up. You know, I think we talked about this recently, like the influx of people showing up at the hospital with things stuck in their body. So, you know,
men sticking objects up their rectum, and you know, because the intestine has this sucking factor where it just like sucks these little things, those little vibrators in, and all of a sudden now you're a man in the ER with this vibrator all up your pussy. You know? Yeah. So I mean, no shame, just go get tested. Healthcare Unlocked.
Healthcare Unlocked.
First of all, we're gonna
cool
put some respect on Healthcare Unlocked. That has nothing to do with getting stuff stuck up your rectum. Although, if you need health insurance to do that, I guess. Anyway, stay tuned for that program. Let's get right into the tea with Jason Lee. Now, everybody knows I just got a beautiful condo in Miami, and I'm loving living in Florida. Although I hate the politics. Florida politics and the idea of Florida politics is crazy. But the good part of moving there as a liberal, I will say I am a liberal still, but when it comes to these taxes, I ain't gonna lie. I've been telling everybody, California, y'all got us in a chokehold. It's like Gavin Newsom in this state is just losing its mind. California, but Florida, they've been lost their mind. Well, they may be onto something that's gonna make people think that Florida government is actually onto something. I don't know. We'll talk about it. Florida is now. Why did they put the bed with the straps up there? This looked like the bed Jocelyn need to sleep in.
Oh,
That looks like a Tuesday night for Rob.
I mean, Rob, it was that swing.
oh God.
Well, anyway, Florida now is in the news because they're finally talking about something that we may all be able to agree with. They're saying that they're enacting, or they just recently enacted a new law that allows convicted child rapists to be sentenced to death. Not going to bring up Nicki Minaj's because I know that's what you were thinking, right? Did you think that?
I was looking dead
No,
at you.
no. I know what you guys expect of me, and I'm not going to go there. And by the way, I don't think this is retroactive, although earlier this year, Republican Governor Ron DeSantis, who we all know as Ron DeSatan, first signed the bill making the death penalty a new punishment for all child rapists found guilty. As of October 1st, the new rule has taken effect. Now, the law specifically pertains to child victims under the age of 12. So that would actually apply to Nikki's brother. No, his stepdaughter was 12. Google it. Make sure we get our facts. I'll put allegedly.
Allegedly.
Many people are applauding the passing of the new law. And the higher courts have already said that imposing deaths. What?
It was an 11-year-old.
Okay. The higher courts have allegedly said that imposing death sentences in these type of cases is a violation of the 8th Amendment, cruel and unusual punishment. I'm going to say this. I hate Florida politics, and I'm not a fan of Ron DeSantis. And in fact, he should never even be elected as a city council member, let alone the water boy at a hockey game, because he's just evil. He's pure evil. But I will say I do agree with this law. As somebody who's been a victim or a survivor of, let me say a survivor, I'm not a victim, a survivor of being molested twice, as somebody who has been an advocate for people who've been victims of sex assault and who talks about it every day. Because on Hollywood Unlocked, just today we were talking about Jason Derulo allegedly being accused of impropriety. Like, there's so much going on, and there's somebody who tried to get somebody to come get me, who raped somebody, and who's in a relationship with somebody whose brother had sex with their 11-year-old stepkid. So yeah, do I think those type of people, not those people per se, because I don't want no problems, but do I think those types of people should be strapped to a bed, have a needle put in them, and slowly feel every organ shut down as they wither away and die a slow, painful, fucking death? Yes, absolutely. I don't even understand why this is a debate. Anybody that rapes a woman or a man, because men do get raped too, or a child, takes advantage of a helpless child, deserves to die. I mean, I just, go through your due process, get all your appeals. But when it gets to the end of the road, although we've come, that you should die right there. Okay. And I think anybody that doesn't agree with that may side with pedophiles. Now, you can argue that, and one argument that I'm sure somebody intelligent like Rob will make is that there are a lot of people that are wrongfully convicted of these type of crimes, and we know that is true. So part of this does require the law to be right, when we know that 9 times out of 10 the law is wrong, maybe 5 times. I don't know. So I'd be willing to entertain like what people think about it. But I do think people who are convicted of that, you show there's proof of, I come forward and say this person did it, there's evidence, you have DNA, like the person should die. Because there's other problems when you don't kill them, right? We end up paying for them for years. Taxpayer money is going towards housing these people while they live nasty little lives. Honestly, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. I was going to say something, but I'm just not going to say that. I'm going to just move right along from that point. But I do believe in it. What do y'all think?
The only thing that I don't agree with the new law is I feel like it should be higher than 12, like the age. Because it's just like it caps at 12 down.
I think it should be any age.
Correct. I think it should change to any age or any type of child.
There are people that play with babies.
Yes.
There's people that assault little babies. There's kids
babies
that
are covered. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of on the opposite side. I think it's a slippery slope when we start imposing the death penalty on just willy-nilly on things. Like I mentioned,
you never heard me say oppose it on willy-nilly.
Well, I'm just saying. I brought this up the
other
other day.
Who is willy-nilly?
I'm saying I brought this up the other day. Donald Trump very publicly saying that he wants to impose the death penalty for drug dealers. Like, is this going to now be the narrative for cleaning anything up? We're just going to kill everybody. And for me, it's the hypocrisy of the Republican Party, where they are the pro-life party, the Christian values party, but then for whatever they don't like, just kill them. I don't know. It doesn't work for me. And my issue with like extending the age for it, what happens in the instance, and this quite often happens to young Black kids, where it's a 18-year-old and a 16-year-old who have a consensual sexual relationship, and then the parents are like, I don't want my daughter with that boy, and then they get them convicted of molesting this kid. But I just think you have to be careful. It's a slippery slope.
I think there are different definitions of sex crimes, right? Like, you pee in front of a school, you're not a pedophile. But if you're exposing yourself to children, that's pedophile. But you still end up on the registry list, right? I think, just to be very clear, the distinction between selling drugs and raping or molesting a child or a woman or a man are two completely different things. Let's be very clear. Drugs affect what community the most? Black and brown. We know that. Where did the drugs come from? Some arguably said the government pushed them into our communities. And we know we put more money into jails than we do into mental health, because jails are an extension of slavery and you get a lot of free labor. We know that. So we know that there's like systemically just a whole bunch of problems. And if you don't know, y'all are just listening to Sexy Red and completely unplugged from what's happening. By the way, her pussy's not pink. That's sex tape. Y'all better go. Anyway, go to Twitter. X. But no, let's think about this, right? There are all these issues, and it is very complicated. But I do believe that the death penalty should be an option. There are some people that should just not exist, right? We know Charles Manson killed a bunch of people. We know Jeffrey Dahmer killed and ate a bunch of gay men. We just know, like, going on and on, Ted Bundy, there's so many people that have committed heinous crimes. And I think that it's easy for Trump to say, I think drug dealers or people who do drugs should be put to death because that means then you're going to do ethnic cleansing because you're going to go into black and brown communities and just slaughter everybody, right? But I think that what race is the race that, what ethnicity does the most molestation? And if we follow this law, I think Ron DeSantis is low-key telling us he wants Trump to die because Trump said, I grab him by the pussy. Be interesting to see what you guys think. Leave comments about that. All right. Next. I love her. Kelly Rowland. Isn't Kelly Rowland like the perfect chocolate? And she's such a graceful girl. You can tell her and Beyonce were really close because almost if you close your eyes and hear them talk, they sound the same. But we don't hear Beyonce talk anymore. I think somewhere somebody said Beyonce's not allowed to do interviews, right?
They must have.
She's barely done them.
No, but when she used to do interviews, she was country and she was honest to a T. And she was letting everybody know, my gift is not public speaking. It is singing, performing, and she does what she does the best.
And the shade would come out. It would come out in those interviews.
She's a black girl from Houston. What I love the most is that most of her interviews where she was being shady, it was checking people for shading Kelly. And, she's a girl's girl. And that's one thing I love about her is, sometimes you'll see people say they stand for this or stand for that, but then you'll look, if you look long enough, that veil will crack. With Beyonce, she's been consistent.
Yeah.
I saw a video online yesterday where Monique, the comedian, who has the Oscar, actress and comedian Monique, What? That wasn't shade.
Okay.
Wait a minute. So this is the problem I have. Every time I say something, it is not shady. Why? What did y'all
I think it was the cadence of how you said it.
What?
It was the tone.
The one who has an Oscar. It just sounded like that. It just gave a little.
She has an Oscar though.
It just gave a splash of shade, right?
Okay. I think you guys are listening with shady
We're just
ears.
used
It
to.
was
We're
thinly
just
veiled in shade.
Yeah.
No, it was okay. Let me be clear on my intention. There was no shade intended there. I was saying the actress. I could have said actress and comedian, and Oscar winner, but I'm tired. Blueface is coming to do a show. Do you know how much energy I have to say for that? Okay. No, I'm saying anyway, she does have an Oscar. She don't use it that much because, she got into all the fight with Oprah and told Oprah to suck her dick. But, anyway, moving right along. I saw a clip online where Monique was giving Beyonce her flowers at the BET Awards. Remember when she used to host the BET Awards? She would open up with a Beyonce number. Beyonce was sitting there. Beyonce don't come anymore because she's too big, and BET's it's not what it used to be. Beyonce, she'll fly in a video or maybe send gift bags or stuff, but she doesn't go to the BET Awards anymore. And the last time Rihanna was there, remember she kind of slapped, she did something to Stephen Hill right as it cut to her.
Yikes.
Definitely gonna ask her about that when she comes on the show. Hey, Ree. Well, Monique was giving Beyonce her props and saying you're the real deal because when I said you're gonna go far, you said we're gonna go far. Meaning she told her as an individual she was gonna be big. And Beyonce said we, meaning her and the girl. So I don't know. I love Beyonce and I love Kelly. And also I love the fact that Kelly could stand on her own 2 feet. Kelly was a big international star before Beyonce really became a big international star. Not to say that Beyonce was never big, but there was an era where it was Kelly, Beyonce was reigning queen here, and Kelly had her music over there. And the music market in Europe is different than the music market in the United States, and Kelly was doing her thing, and she's been able to stand on her own 2 feet. And I feel like every time that people interview her, they ask her it's all about Beyonce or shading her about standing in her shadow or something like that. And Kelly, I think, has done a great job of clapping back in her own way. Well, she's now in the news because there's this old saying that it takes a village to raise a kids, and I'm not sure if we still believe that. Recently, Kelly Rowland revealed how Nipsey Hussle's parenting advice inspired her to instill integrity in her 2 sons that she shares with her husband, Tim Witherspoon. Now, let me show you a picture of the family. This is Tim, the 2 kids, and Kelly. They are a beautiful chocolate family. And Tim is also, those of you that don't know, Tim is also her manager. Did y'all know that?
I didn't know that.
Tim was at
I saw him.
the event that I left earlier.
Yep.
You know what though? I feel like put a pin in this. Showing up for an event, being seen, saying hello is support. You don't have to stay the whole time.
You were in the room.
I was in the room.
You didn't have to stay till
And I
the
left
curtains
the room.
closed.
You walked the carpet.
I walked the carpet. I didn't do any interviews.
Yeah.
I took pictures, and then
He power walked through the carpets.
It's support. It's
I didn't even
support.
look at the interviewers. I just shot.
He put his glass on and said, "Come on."
I was there. Well, anyway, speaking with Parents Magazine for their Black Joy issue, the former Destiny's Child singer credited the late LA rapper and said, "I wanted my boys to have integrity, and I got that from Nipsey Hussle. It's amazing to me that he would talk to his kids about making the right decision, even when no one is watching." And that was everything. Nobody knows how hard you have to work, but you do it because you love it. And I want them to be the kind of men who are proud of themselves. That's really important to me, being good decision makers. Now, while Kelly took the advice from Nipsey, a pair of football coaches in Atlanta went viral for telling. So should we get into the Kelly piece and then go into that? Well, I don't know. What do you guys think of that? I mean, it's great that she's, one, giving props to Nipsey Hussle, who was a great father and a great boyfriend with Lauren London, but also just a great representation for the Black culture and Black community. And then also, I think what she's doing is showing that the Black family is not what TV and movies may often make them look like, and that the news that you hear or the headlines you hear around the country about Black kids or Black kids being killed by police officers or arrested or this or that's not all of who we are, and that Black families are raising their kids with values of having integrity and being good people. What do you think about her sharing that and the importance of using her platform to do it?
I just think it's refreshing to see kids highlighted that aren't just the Kardashian kids, like doing TikToks or like stuff like that. Like, it's nice to
Or
see
flipping
like
people off.
That part. It's just nice and refreshing to see like integrity, morals, values. And I love Kelly as a mom. I wish she was my mom. And I love her homage to Nipsey. Yes, Kelly Rowland, she's that girl.
Kelly Rowland's Black.
So she can adopt me. I can be her albino daughter.
So now all Black kids have foster parents?
No, she can be my parent.
Oh, so white kids have foster parents?
Yeah.
Why is everything here race?
I know.
That's a question for me. Yeah. What do you think, Rob?
I love it. I think this makes me love Kelly Rowland even more, which is hard to do because I think she's just perfection. But I really do think it's important for us as a community to start remembering like that we don't have to do things by ourselves, and we should like trust in other people who've done it before us, take advice from others, and not feel shame in that, and like really, work to create a solid, beautiful environment for the children that are coming. I think it's great.
Kelly Rowland said she's coming on the Jason Lee show. We're waiting. So I'm going to email Tim actually today to remind him of that. But, I have to tell you, when Kelly comes here, wait till y'all see that skin, because we got the best lighting in the business. She is beautiful. She smells good. She's so sweet. And she's such a nice person. I can't wait to be able to honor her. And I think that's great that she's using her platform to have this conversation. Well, while Kelly took advice from Nipsey, a pair of football coaches in Atlanta went viral for teaching their young players how to tie a tie, helping turn the boys into young men. Another example of other adults around our kids helping instill values and bring them up. Now, did we all have positive figures like this growing up? I can tell you I didn't. I was in foster care. Are you laughing at foster care
No.
kids? What was funny about that? I said I'm in foster care and you laugh. What's funny?
Johnny, cut this out.
No. Every foster kid is waiting for your answer. What was funny about that?
It's nothing funny, but it's just funny how you always bring it to darkness. We're talking about something so positive. You're like, oh, I didn't.
I'm not bringing it to darkness. Sorry for telling you that I had a dark childhood. I wrote a whole book about it. It's called God Must Have Forgotten About Me. And he forgot about my mentors because I didn't have any until later. And then that one died of AIDS. So, yes, I've had a dark life. I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry. That's my experience.
That's your truth.
A lot of our lived experiences, but what I think is great is that there are a lot of people I meet who don't come from communities like I came from. And a lot of you have logged in and you see me and you see the watch and the show and this and that. But like the lived experience I've had it wasn't all this, right? And a lot of people that I talk to, and why I love the work that we're doing at the Hollywood Cares Foundation and reaching out to kids and, those moments that we had with some kids, people don't have mentors and people don't have examples of how to commune. Now, I will tell you, recently I had an event in Stockton where I had a moment with a kid who was trying to troll me, little Faison. You want to be famous, Faison? Well, here go your 15 minutes. Faison tried me, asked me if I'd take a bath. What you mean I'd take a bath? And I had to mentor him in the way that I feel some kids need to be mentored. Take a look. Like, I'm very big on hygiene. Like, you'll never catch me slipping. I don't care, even if I roll out of bed, like, I'm going to roll right into that bathroom. Did I brush my teeth? Did I brush my teeth? First of all, we started with the teeth. Then I've combed my hair, I've taken a shower, put on deodorant, I got cologne, I got lotion. I'm very well kept.
Your ears
Excuse me?
behind your face.
Did you?
Very did brush it.
Okay, let me say this, because I could tell you're a little spicy. What's your name? Faison? Faison, I have a doctorate degree in reading. I could read you for filth, and you wouldn't even know you're being read. So you don't want that. I made millions of dollars doing what you're trying to do, but good luck. You know what I mean? Keep it up. You might get there. No, I like that because he's like what I used to be. You know what I mean? Like when I'm practicing. You're going to be all right. You're going to be good, but you got to turn it from a hobby into a career. Because, see, I used to read for free, but then now I make millions. You can't pay me to do it for free. You know? Because while you was talking to me about my hygiene, I was going to take that cap off and we have a real conversation. But you know, I mess with you. You the homie. Watch it. It was funny. He was a little spicy. Faison gonna grow up to be a little me, okay? But no, did you guys have people mentoring you, or what was your experience?
Yeah, I did come up in an environment where my parents put us in circumstances where we had other adults around us who were positive role models for us. And I think one thing that I do love about the coaches teaching these kids to tie the tie, I like seeing that as opposed to glorifying these kids punching teachers in the classroom, because teachers and educators deal with so much, and there are a crop of them that are very good and that do care. So I like showing that side of it more than the teachers getting beat up by students, because there's more happening out there than that.
I did too. I had a lot of like aunts and uncles, and I always spent my summers in the villages, in the streets of Croatia. So I had a lot of people, and they weren't always family members. So I feel like it's just important to have people who want to like help take turns like raising, so you can like learn different perspective from your kids. Like I don't have any kids, but I always wonder, like I have no family in LA. So I'm like, do I want to have a family in LA? Because who's gonna help? You gonna watch my kid?
No.
Oh.
I'll help.
No, I'll even tell you, like, you know, I always get asked, are you gonna have kids? Do you want to have kids? And you guys have seen the show. I asked Cardi to be the godmom. I asked Rihanna. I asked Floyd and all this jokingly, and they've all said yes, because I think they all think I'm a joke. They all think I'm a joke.
They don't think it's gonna happen.
Until you show up with them kids.
You have to come.
And then I'm gonna be like, you know what I mean? Like, come on. Where's that fun for that graduation? No, but I mean, I think they think it's a joke. But then now I'm talking to somebody who has a kid, and we're talking about step parenting. And I was like, that's a real conversation, because then you have to really be a step parent. You can't be the, hey, just take some money and go to, you know, GameStop or whatever the kids do, where they go jump around all day and play games. Because even then, there are people there waiting to molest your kids, waiting to steal your kids, waiting to teach your kids wrong. And I feel like if you let video games or people in the community raise your children, then when they grow up to be serial killers, it's still on you. Is that dark? Jeffrey Dahmer was raised by somebody. I'm just saying.
Definitely was.
Now, if you had a kid that you was growing up to be a serial killer, would you euthanize it?
Abortion.
Marie.
The fact that you're laughing at foster care and abortion is so crazy.
First of all, I'm not laughing at abortion. I'm laughing at if I was pregnant with a serial killer.
Well,
like
first of all, you wouldn't
punch me in the stomach.
No, but you wouldn't know if the kid is kicking you in the stomach that it's going to be a serial killer. I'm saying if you're raising a kid,
and they start
little
killing
Timmy
birds
starts
and cats.
killing cats and fucking. Because I was in a group home.
Oh no.
With a kid named Neil. And I remember we used to have lots of chickens and horses. It was a ranch. Chickens, horses, cats, dogs, this and that. And the cats would have kittens, and then all of a sudden the kittens would like come up missing. One day I went to a shed. I never told the story. I have so many stories. Opened up the shed, and there were cats hanging from shoestrings.
No, there were not.
He was hanging them all.
Oh, that's sick.
This was my roommate.
That's a
Neil.
little serial killer.
Little white boy, had his little hat with his little jacket and his little Wrangler jeans, and he used to be walking around looking like he would kill you. And then when he would fight with you, he would say, I'll kill you. He was hanging all the kittens in the fucking shed.
Do we know where he is now?
Yeah.
Hopefully euthanized. I don't know. But do you think like if you're raising a kid that's 12, 13, 10, and you start to see like they're doing these things, do you believe they should be put to sleep?
Well,
Or mental health, because people think like the vice president of the United States, Pence, thought you can shock people into being straight. You can't shock nobody into being straight.
No.
You ain't gonna shock nobody into not killing unless you putting that shock thing around their head and turn the voltage all the way up.
Well, that's what happened in that show Dexter. He was a little kid. Was it Dexter?
He was a killer.
He was killing animals at a young age, and then his dad taught him just kill bad people if you're gonna kill.
Jeffrey Dahmer was killing animals at a young age with his father.
Oh yeah, and Jeffrey
ended
Dahmer
up
too.
eating people's dicks, right? Like not the way that.
I think that if you see that trait in your child, they need to be put into
If
a
your
circumstance
dog
where
had
they're
parvo,
not a threat to the community.
you would put it down. You could. If
No.
you saw your dog had an illness or was not going to be well, you could put it to sleep. Why are we afraid? Why are we afraid to have this real conversation? I'm asking right now. You see your kid as a serial killer in the making.
Send them out.
Should a parent have the right to put them to sleep?
No.
Not
Why?
sleep.
No, because it's a human life that should have the opportunity to turn it. They can turn them. They can be. I would hope it can be fixed, but I don't think that person should just be turned loose into society.
You're in your house, going to sleep every
they wouldn't
night.
be in my
Hold on,
house.
with Neil down the hallway, who's hanging cats. And
Right.
Neil's looking at you at the dinner table like, bitch, when you go to sleep, I'm going to kill you. Hold on. You mean to tell me you wouldn't find a way somewhere to take Neil to take a nap? And
No, I would
Neil
not
just-
have Neil take a dirt nap. I would not do that. As Chrissy Teigen would say, I would not have Neil take a dirt nap.
Chrissy Teigen did not say she would give her.
That was Bobby
she's-
Lights.
No, she told the woman
she told
on
the
Twitter
woman
to
online
take a
to
dirt
have
nap.
it, yeah.
I love Chrissy Teigen, but
Because Chrissy Teigen's had kids pass away, so I want to be clear.
oh well, yeah, I was talking about what she said to the woman on Twitter, not that. I love Chrissy Teigen and John.
You know
Legend.
what's
I
so
love her.
crazy with all these cameras in here? They're catching everybody's reaction as we're talking, and I don't know if we're like present enough to realize that. Because like you, Johnny, catch it. Go ahead.
I was saying I would not euthanize my child. I would put them in a circumstance where they are not in my home, but they're getting the attention
So
and the treatment
move the
that they
killer
need.
to a group home where he can kill.
Not
other
a
people?
group home, like a facility where they might have to medicate.
But
little
then aren't you gonna
Johnny
miss
or
little?
Jimmy.
Why Johnny?
Oh Lord.
Johnny, did you hear that? Okay. Why you say little Johnny?
Hey,
Isn't it crazy that we're having this conversation while Blueface is in the other room
Mhm.
waiting? Can he hear us, Johnny? Okay, yeah, go turn it on for him. All right, well, I think we should revisit this legislature.
I think Rob DeSantis should add
Ron
child. Ron.
DeSantis. So
I just
first,
wanted to say-
Rob takes a shot at Johnny, and then you take a shot at Rob.
He needs
what
to
is
add
happening?
child. He needs to add
Can you
Neil
put the mic down?
and all the child killers to the list of child rapists and kill them all. Period.
I would just say this, and I'm not saying any names, but I think this should be retroactive.
oh my God.
Let's move on.
help us.
Let's move along. Everybody knows that I'm talking to somebody right now. And although Blueface is in another room, it's a Crip, but it's not him. And I've said this, like, if you look on paper, people would say this person is not right for me. And if you look at his paper and you look at me, people would say I'm not right for him, right? Because we're very different. Opposites have attracted. My question is, do you believe that opposites attract? Now, we have one as an example that we'll put up here. Janet Jackson and
They're wrong for that picture.
Sorry.
This is just a mess. Out of all the photos to represent
He
this
looks so
topic.
little.
The opposite inside and out.
are you guys done yet?
Mhm.
What is that? What that.
Who picked
Stop.
this picture? Y'all are so shady.
What is
We
wrong?
know who put it.
Wait, what is wrong with y'all?
These photos. Who picked these photos? Was it Ariella? Oh God. The shade.
Put the photo back. I don't see the shade.
That's so bad.
Oh God. Okay.
I have not said. Okay, I just want to say for the record, I haven't said anything. I was talking about me and Crit Bay. I don't know how.
Oh.
First of all, Jermaine, let me give you your flowers. Nigga, you got Janet Jackson. Period. Miss Jackson, if you nasty. And this girl loved him. Now, this clip gonna go viral, but y'all just laughed at Jermaine. Let me first start by
Come on.
saying,
That was a setup.
see, put the picture back.
Oh.
You would look at this
Oh, I got it.
picture and you would say that they don't belong together. He's short, she's tall. She's Janet Jackson, he's Jermaine Dupri. She comes from a legacy of the Jackson family, and he's so deaf. Jermaine Dupri is a successful businessman, icon, producer, music maker. She's an amazing artist, icon, legend, whatever. Both respectfully, highly successful. He just got honored at that event that we went to, and he's been in music for decades. I mean, Crisscross, TLC, Escape, on and on and on and on. Jermaine Dupri, Bow Wow, he's an icon. Now, why were you guys laughing?
Because for me, it was just the photo select. It was just weird. And I would much rather see like a Genie or a Jeezy type of thing. But that just took me out.
Crop ins of the photo.
Yeah.
The way it was done.
It was the zoom in
It
with
was
the
done
braids.
shady. It was done shady.
It wasn't us being shady. We were reacting to the shade.
There was, but
there are many pictures.
But
of
see,
Jermaine
I
that
think
don't
the
look
point
like
I'm trying to make is that optically, we throw shade to what it looks like, right?
Yes.
So, for example, a straight man, perceivably straight, being with somebody who is perceivably gay or whatever, is wrong because it like we invoke reaction to things that just don't seem or feel right.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, I think all of us on here, and I know you, Rob, for sure, we're all hopeless romantics. We want to be in love. We want that thing that makes the most sense to us. Now, put that picture back up. Rob, you can look at it.
Why is it cropped? And who is that?
No, it don't. Khalees, I don't know. Look, but does it not make sense? Does this not make sense to you?
I don't judge relationships from the outside, and I don't assume that like a person who's tall and thin can't be with a person who's short and heavy set. Like I don't look at those situations and go, they shouldn't be together, because I'm a person personally who can see myself being with someone who is opposite in some ways, like
white.
Oh God.
I was waiting.
Yes, I don't have an issue with dating outside of my race. I also,
You said that you would date somebody who you said you.
oh God.
But this speaks to, I think, how amazing of a person you are, because I could tell you you're more amazing than I am. You know where I'm gonna go.
Oh yeah.
He said he would date somebody who had HIV.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
And there's no shade, because I don't have the capacity
Because they're at
to
this
be
point,
there.
At this point,
in
at this point, I feel like there's medication and treatment. There's ways around it. I do not have it, but I would be open to dating someone who did.
And we have a friend who was Jamal Sims, who was on Facebook, openly talked about, did an interview where he's a choreographer, very famous choreographer, good friend of mine, love him to death, love him down. He's in a relationship with somebody who is openly HIV positive. And they have a beautiful relationship, and they love each other. And I mean, when they first posted about it, I was like, oh my God, Jamal, because I thought, and HIV is not a death sentence anymore.
Yeah.
But the stigma is so great. Just like somebody would look at this and say that's a stigma. Janet Jackson, whatever. But remember, Janet Jackson also allegedly let Bobby Brown bump them guts too. Y'all saw the BET special. I was at the premiere when Whitney was fighting with him because Bobby was having sex with Janet Jackson. Did you know that? Oh, you haven't.
Does the world
That
know
was
that?
the best BET. That was the best BET, the New Edition movie, or the Bobby Brown story. One of those, I think it was the Bobby Brown story, the best one that they did. Shout out to Robbie Reed and everybody at BET. I ain't gonna lie. Now you get programming like that, I'm gonna tune in. But yeah, he was having sex in a hotel with Janet Jackson, and she was in love with him. And he threw her out.
What?
Bobby Brown threw her out. So now we see Janet as the problem because Janet picks all these different opposites that attract to her, but don't necessarily are the best for her. Well, anyway, by the way, I do think that Janet Jackson and Jermaine Dupri are soulmates.
So you believe in soulmates?
Do I believe in soulmates? Are you with yours? You believe that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I believe in soulmates.
I believe in soulmates, though.
I believe in the
Yeah, more than
person
one.
that I met. Okay. Some would say that my first ex, who's still my best friend in 28 years, is my soulmate because we're still best friends and all that. I don't believe he's my soulmate. I believe that we shared a moment and an era that could never be duplicated. And now we have a special friendship. And I honor what we've experienced together in being friends, but I don't see it for him like that. And he don't see it for me. And he's happily married, thank God. Because if he wasn't, he'd be knocking my door down. And you'd kill me, you know, you'd be over there trying to get it. But he's truly my best friend now. I do believe like the person I'm talking to now, if I look back all the different people that I've been involved with sexually and talking to over the last 8 years, which has been a fucking lot. I do feel different about this person for reasons outside of what I would normally be attracted to. Because for me, my issue has always been being attracted to people based on just how they look.
Right.
Like you can have no substance. You could have no substance, but if you were fun and you had abs and you had free time to get on that flight, you was getting that flight. This is different. You know what I mean? So I don't know, but a new study is claiming that scientifically opposites do not attract, and apparently couples are more likely to be similar than different. Now, this new study is showing that while we thought couples like Jermaine and Janet, who you both laughed at for minutes,
It's just that picture. It's not that.
or
The
Nick
photo.
Cannon and Mariah, or Sharon AE.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
I heard AD has a big. I heard AE has a big dick though, and Nick Cannon has a big dick.
Jermaine.
I don't feel like Nick Cannon and
Jermaine
Mariah
is
Carey
giving
are
me.
opposites.
Jermaine is giving me like doesn't have the looks.
He's giving me a grower, not a shower.
He's giving me don't want to see it, but he's giving me like he was dicking her down. Anyway,
I don't see Nick Cannon and Mariah Carey as opposites. I don't see what is the opposite in the relationship.
I don't
think-
see that either. I
yeah.
don't think this is a great example. Ariella did that. AE and Cher, we know what that is.
That's given.
Hold on. I mean, why we thought couples like Jermaine Dupri, Janet Jackson, Nick Cannon, Mariah Carey, or even Cher and AE, or Blueface and Krishan, were possible opposites attracting. Turns out that they may have all had a lot in common. Show them all again. Besides Janet and Jermaine wearing the same suit, Nick and Mariah holding on to each other for dear life, knowing it was not gonna work, and AE looking like, girl, you got a whole lot of money. I don't know.
Jackpot.
Either way, experts are saying that the power of animal magnetism has brought countless couples together. But when it comes to who we fall for, there's little truth to the old saying opposites attract. Now, according to the new study on romantic relationships, experts are revealing that for more than 80% of traits analyzed, like political views, drug habits, and the age at which people first had sex, partners were often remarkably similar. Specifically, the data has shown that between 82 and 89% of traits examined were similar among partners, with 3% ranking as substantially different. Now, Tanya Horowitz, a human behaviorist and PhD student at the University of Columbia, says birds of a feather are indeed more likely to flock together. I will say that, like, the person I'm talking to now, who is a openly known and documented gang member, if you look at where my life is right now, you would say we're opposite. But if you look at where I grew up and how I was raised and what I feel the most safe around and the most comfortable with is those people. I feel, now not the element when we're in Atlanta and traveling around the country and we don't know you. I don't feel comfortable around that. But when I grew up in the hood, we didn't feel comfortable around sides of towns that we didn't know either. I feel safer with this person, sense of security, but I also am gravitating towards a person that doesn't care about all the things that Jason Lee has now. And that's that normality where I don't want to be with somebody famous. I couldn't see myself walking a red carpet with another celebrity who has its own thing going on while I got my own thing going on. I want to show up and support you at your job. Hopefully it's a business that we own together, and you show up and support me at mine. But I don't want to, I don't know. You and your man, he's in entertainment. You're in entertainment. So you both have similar ambitions for the same industry, but are you guys opposite?
Complete opposite. I feel like, not to bring the horoscopes into it, but I'm a big like fire sign. I'm crazy. I'm outgoing, and he's a water sign, so he's like awkward, shy. Not awkward, but he's just like more in his shell, and that like is how we gel. Because I used to date people like me crazy, and we would just be too fiery. So I need someone like in my household. I am the Beyonce, and he is the Michelle. Respectfully,
Michelle.
correct.
First of all, can we just agree to stop? Okay, first of all, I don't believe in domestic violence, but you would get your ass coming home to that shit. And could we agree to stop shading Michelle?
You would have been calling me Farrah.
But Farrah never really counted, right? Almost doesn't count. Side note,
well, you know what I mean.
I saw
No, Jason.
can I say this to the audience? We're going to get back to this, though. I know we're all over the place. I really do not try to be shady. I really don't. And I really feel like, and I had a meeting the other day with somebody who's very well respected in the industry, and after he looked at everything, he doesn't really know me like that. We see each other every day at the gym, but he doesn't really know me. He looked at everything and he said, "You're not shady. You literally are just honest.
You're real."
And this is an industry where like you're feared because this is not the norm and it's not acceptable. You're not in the ecosystem, so you're too free. Your thought is like not fitting in any box or circle, and this is scary.
But that's why you say facts when you say I'm not shady. The truth.
Yeah, the truth is what it is. The truth is what it is. And sometimes my delivery is sharp, but because it doesn't come out with the idea like if I say this, but what I was going to say was, I've always thought that, Michelle can sing, but I always thought she was just like a third wheel that made sense to harmonize, but really like we could do without her. Now, but she's loyal to the girls and she's loyal to Beyonce, and Beyonce is a girl's girl, and that's why she's loyal to her. Now, I will say there's people like Tinashe who I criticize all the time. Now, Tinashe is a pretty girl. She has a lot of issues. She didn't dress well at the VMAs, and she doesn't really have any good music these days. But I feel like she has a lot of potential. But I saw her recently, and I was so nervous because I've talked about her so much that should I have gone over to her and said, "Hey, girl, hey."
No.
No?
No.
Why?
Because leave it at that.
No, but if I go to her and say, "Let me help you," or
It's no helping that.
or if I see Jennifer Hudson, like I saw her at the vice president's house, shouldn't I? Because I love Jennifer Hudson. I have a picture of J Hud in Chicago with Kim Kardashian and Tiffany, remember?
At the Bulls game.
Wakanda, what's his name? Chadwick took the photo,
I did not know that.
which they drugged me for because I gave him photo credit. After he died, I reposted and gave him photo credit. They were like, "How dare you disrespect T'Challa?" I'm like, T'Challa was a character. And I'm actually acknowledging that he took a photo that I really liked, even though I was fat and I was wearing a sweater because I couldn't fit.
I don't think that's disrespectful.
But I like Jennifer Hudson. I really do. Like, I love her when she sings. I loved the tribute she did for Whitney. I love her personality. I loved her interview where she talked about her family who died because I lost family. Like, I love her as a singer. I hate her as a talk show host. I think she's boring. Lunel said she was illiterate. We put that in the last podcast, but in case you didn't see it, look.
First of all, J Hud has everything
Y'all support each other.
that we should love about her. She has a great voice. She's been an underdog. She had her family slaughtered. We should love all that. But she's a little bit illiterate. And
Oh my God, I gotta go, you guys.
and
The views expressed by Lunel.
her personality is boring. She boring.
You said she's illiterate.
A little illiterate.
Oh my God, next.
You ever listen to her?
No!
And her theme song sounds like
And
a
I am
missionary
Terry.
church.
Wait, hold
God in
on, wait.
Christ.
Don't knock that drink over. Y'all don't, at least,
Y'all
okay,
my ass, Lunel don't have no cup on her table.
you broke it.
Yeah, you did break it, Lunel.
Okay, look, wait.
See, Lunel said that, not me. But I just feel like being honest these days makes you unpopular. It's sort of like Billy Porter. Girl, you sitting up in Starbucks with your leg crossed, reading the book nobody cares about, looking like you just dug yourself out of garbage bin. And here I am begging you to come and talk about your pathetic music that nobody black listens to because you're too busy serving up and propping up whiteness, that you tell me you're going to come on the show only to pass me off to a white publicist who doesn't care about any nigglets trying to help your struggling ass music career. Then you talk about losing a home because of a strike that was probably unavoidable, but nonetheless, you want us to give a fuck what we didn't. Like you didn't care about our show. Now, if I say that, I'm messy, right? Now, we know he has HIV and he's a big HIV AIDS advocate and he's doing a lot for our community and we love that. But I don't take attacks at his immune system. I don't talk about how he caught it. I mean, I don't know what he did to get it, but it doesn't matter because that's nothing I would ever attack because of how I know that impacts our community and black women. Like Tasha K, who keeps saying everybody has it when she knows she's actually the representation of the people the most affected. By the way, she's ugly too, but that's an opinion, only my observation. I just don't understand why we live in a world where people just can't be honest. You know?
No, I think that
because everybody laughed at that photo, but everybody will say we're messy for doing it on camera, right? No, literally the reason why I let you guys laugh for so long is because I knew I was going to build him up and say he's phenomenal. And I've said all that, but I knew that I didn't even see the photo, by the way. Ariella, girl, you the reason why I get ran down on in these streets.
Tried it.
Because Ariella produces everything, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I knew that's everybody's reaction right now, seeing it, but to say it is messy, right?
Messy.
Again, I think there is some truth to, the truth is messy sometimes. The delivery is entertaining, but I don't think you should be uncomfortable living in the truth and still being, and I don't think people should be uncomfortable hearing an opinion or perspective that is adverse to what they want to hear. So if you don't think the Jennifer Hudson show is good and you give that opinion, I don't think that should be the catalyst for her never speaking to you or not coming on the show.
Okay, we're at the vice president's house. Now this is like when you're moving around like your homeboy's house or my house, you just at Jason's house, you're at the vice president's house. Like it's all presidential. The napkins got this thing on it. There's a flag with the vice president. The service is immaculate. There's police everywhere. Now, mind you, it was like Love and Hip Hop. I know I'm moving away. Take this picture down because I don't want laughter. Okay, so I go in the tent. Jeezy's right here, and then I turn and Common's right here with Jennifer Hudson, and I'm like, but she's literally looking at every single person in the room and looks around me as if I'm not there. And I know it's because she had to have heard me.
Drag her for film.
Not dragging, telling my truth, and letting Lunel. Y'all remember what Lunel said? If you forgot, look.
First of all, J Hud has everything
Y'all support each other.
that we should love about her. She has a great voice. She's been an underdog. She had her family slaughtered. We should love all that. But she's a little bit illiterate. And
Oh my God, I gotta go, you guys.
And
the views expressed by Lunel.
her personality is boring. She boring.
You said she's illiterate.
A little illiterate.
Oh my God, next.
You ever listen to her?
No.
And her theme song sounds like
And
a
I am
missionary church.
Wait, hold
God
on,
in
wait.
Christ.
Don't knock that drink over. Y'all don't, at least.
Y'all
okay.
my ass, Lunel don't have no cup on her table.
You broke it.
Yeah, you did break it, Lunel.
Okay, look, wait.
And then I go outside. I had to walk by her, and there was literally this much room, and I'm like sliding behind her. She didn't even look at me. The whole Common speaking to me, hugging me. Common showed me lots of love, and I love Common, and we're gonna always have her, because Common ain't gonna be with her forever. Like he left Serena, like he left Tiffany, like he left every other famous girl that he dates. Erykah Badu, Jennifer Hudson. Your show might get canceled before that relationship, but I don't know. It's 50-50. It just. But Common, I'm gonna be here for you because the common denominator is you. Anyway, nigga, I love you. No, but look, when I was What'd I do? Anyway, so I'm sliding by, and I slide by her, and I'm like, "Ooh, I didn't touch her," and I walk away, and then I hit the corner, and Karen Civil's standing right there. This was love.
Oh my God!
But I walked up to her, and I said, "How are you?" She's like, "How are you?" I'm like, "I'm fine." So when are we gonna squash this? She was like, "You're the one that keeps talking about me." I go, "Okay, so let's have a meeting." She said, "Okay, that's the number right now." So I'm gonna sit down and talk to her
Because I'm still waiting for that hammer to drop, though.
Which one?
Because you said it's gonna come
With her?
Well, I guess was that Clubhouse? Was that when it came?
No, it came, but there is another hammer. But I'm gonna meet with her and tell her what that hammer is and tell her I'm never gonna bring it up. Because that hammer, if I drop that one, ain't no coming back. Ain't no coming back. Because you thought Neil did something. That was, But you know, part of this is that I want to grow and grow past all my, you know. I saw a YouTuber last night that I don't like.
Mm-hmm.
And the other
You
lady.
weren't there.
No,
Yes,
but
she
you told me
was.
about that
We
lady.
don't need to say no names because this is not that.
I forgot. She had an interesting.
But
name,
here's
so
the
I
deal.
forgot.
Here's the deal. No ill will. No An expired relationship is not a beef. Y'all know I got a friend out there right now. I know y'all watching this show eating popcorn like they are off topic, but we are acting like we're in the room. A friend right now that I've known for years, hanging out with somebody that I used to talk to who I really liked, who Rob told me, I don't like this person around you. I don't want this person in your life, who Rob tried to get them cut out. If it was survivor of the friendships, it was Rob trying to vote him off. But you know, when you have a heart and you care about people and you just want to give people chances because you believe in people.
This is why he unfollowed me, because this narrative.
Well, he blocked me and whatever. But the thing is, and this is not me bashing him because I would never say his name because, you know, there's no beef or nothing. But it's like, damn, like I feel disappointed. But that goes back to like, I don't know, in that situation, were we really the same type of friend? Were we really the same type of person?
Yeah.
When you're the one that's always giving, and that person's always taking, you're not, that's not an opposite attract. That's a deficit.
It's one-sided.
It's one-sided. I do feel
It's a
like
one-way
going
street.
back to the topic at hand, you can be very different. Like I'll say Crip Bay. I keep calling him Crip Bay because it's funny because I want people to meet him. But Rob, you know me for years. Do I like this person?
Yes, a lot.
More than.
But again, I think this is a layered conversation, right? So I think the Crip-based situation, culturally, you guys share an understanding. So like, I think like you're saying, you came from a certain environment. He understands that. So your perspective and your life experiences are very similar, I would say. So that's why I don't know if I could date someone, for example, who's like a hardcore Republican whose views are completely different from mine, or a person who doesn't understand what it means to be a person who walks around in black or brown skin. So there are like extreme differences in that way I couldn't do. But then on the flip side, like I could see, I don't think I could be with a person who's like, you know, super shy in certain circumstances if I'm a person who's super shy in certain circumstances, because then we're never going to get anywhere. So I do think opposites in that way work. But if it's an extreme opposite, like politics or religion or your perspective on how you raise your children, I don't think those kinds of things will work.
Let me use you as an example. This is why I think me and Rob are really good friends. We're very different.
What?
No. But when we're together and it's not, and our passions aren't taking over, because we're both very passionate. He's passionate about acting. I'm passionate about what I do. When our passions take over, it's friction. It's not hate and it's not jealousy and it's not envy. It's not detest. It's not anything like that. Rob is in his process, waiting on his turn. I'm in my process, taking my turn, but still feeling like I'm not there, but get reminded that I'm there. Like, so it's different. But it's also very complimentary. What I will say is that when we're together, I'm gonna be the aggressive one. I'm gonna be the mouthy one. He's gonna be the sound of what is the voice of reason.
Yeah.
But when ain't no more voice left, when ain't no more voice left, when the voice has been heard and said, and there just ain't no more reason, Rob bows out and lets me do me. This is what I will say about Crip Bay. I love that I don't have to be that aggressive no more. He's aggressive in a different type of way. He's in like I'm gonna get it, and I don't know if that's because he's a
He's
tourist.
not afraid.
Beyond not afraid. I love his confidence. I put him in a group text with all my friends. Rob is in that group text, and I said, "Oh yeah, meet his name." I almost said his name. I ain't gonna lie, I do want to say his name. And I said, "Meet so and so," and he says something, and somebody like try to like challenge him on some like gym type shit, and he was like, "First of all, I'll pull up all of you in here." He said whatever he said, and then he left the group chat. I was like, that is what I would do. But I love that I could sit back and I don't have to stand up for him or fight. I like that. But I'm learning that doesn't make me a bitch. That doesn't make me less of a man. That makes me a lot more balanced. But in that opposite attract kind of thing where I would never, where I don't know if is that opposite though? Because we're very similar in that way.
No, but don't you feel like you can take a load off? 'Cause,
Yes.
Like, yeah, because he can match
Yes.
he can carry the weight that you've been carrying. I feel like.
But
on your
isn't
own.
that where maybe opposites attract now? Meaning like we now can have opposite roles. Like we can be very similar, but now I don't have to play that role anymore because I can relinquish it to somebody else.
Absolutely.
Sort of the way Latavia and Latoya relinquished their role to Michelle, huh? Oh, can I just say this, by the way? This is a clip right here, and I'm going to say this because Beyonce, I know you're somewhere dressed in Reynolds wrap listening to me. You better go on tour with Kelly, Michelle, Latavia, and Latoya. I need DC5. Don't bring Farrah. You can put her over the merch program, and she can carry the bags, but she cannot. The way you laughed at Jermaine and Jen, I know you ain't laughing. Don't let Farrah on that tour bus. She can put airs in the tires. She can gas it up, but she can't go. But DC5, wouldn't you want to see DC5 as on tour?
Listen.
Hold on. No. They start with the early stuff. Hold on, listen. No. Then
Not you producing.
hold
the
on.
whole show.
Then Beyonce comes and does a little of Beyonce era. Then Kelly comes and does her little thing. One gospel song from Michelle. Hold on, one.
Jesus say yes,
No, because Kelly and Michelle are on that song.
Oh.
So she has to do one of her own.
Solos.
Yeah, it's going to be very breathy and airy, but just that one song. Maybe she can bring Kim Burrell out to hit a note. No, she don't like the gays. We just had Renaissance. So then after that, then they come back. I'm a survivor. Then they all come back together and do a Dreamgirls moment. Wouldn't that be iconic?
Iconic.
It's never gonna happen, but it would be iconic. I
don't
love
know.
When
I
they
love the
came out at
vision. I love the
Coachella,
vision.
everyone gagged.
Beyonce's not doing that.
I'm calling Latavia today, who follows me, and I'm going to reach out to Latoya Luckett, who likes me, and I'm going to invite them on the Jason Lee show, and I'm going to ask them.
I love that.
Okay.
I just
Then
don't
they
think
can FaceTime
Beyonce's-
Beyonce. They can FaceTime Beyonce.
I don't know if they have her number. All right, let's move on. Speaking of dating.
Oh boy.
What is that?
First of all, why is the topic interracial dating, but you have K. Michelle and Terrell Owens? By the way, both K. Michelle and Terrell Owens are coming on the Jason Lee show. K. Michelle, we've already started locking in her date, right? She gave us a date, a week. She gave us a weekend.
And Terrell Owens, that candle. honey.
Terrell Owens, okay, I ain't gonna lie. Terrell, y'all be sending me stuff and I don't do nothing with it. I literally throw it away or I give it away or I don't have the time to unbox things. I do have to unbox the shoes in Miami though.
Mm-hmm.
But Terrell Owens sent me some candles and I'm a candle lover. I have candles all over my house, my office, my condo, everywhere. His candles smell really good.
They smell
Oh my God.
really
Right?
They
good.
smell expensive.
Do you want to take one home?
Yes.
No, you can't. No, you can't. You can take.
No.
You can take one home. But anyway, I think the reason is K. Michelle recently opened up about her love for the idea of dating a white man, and she's saying that people should actually try it. I'm a product of an interracial relationship. My mama was white, my daddy was black, my daddy had a wife, and my mom was a side bitch. They're both dead now. And what?
It's just the
do I just say
delivery.
things wrong?
Your delivery is just hilarious on whatever. Just anything you say is.
But is it wrong? Okay.
No, it's not wrong.
You know what's so crazy though? I have lived a life.
You've lived 10 lives.
No. I've lived a life.
What?
And honestly, I don't want to say things the way that people expect me to say them because I don't feel that way. Like, I don't feel like there's this kid on an app that I see go live and I see him get excited when I come in the room because he knows I'm going to gift him. It's on this app called Bigo. He knows I'm going to gift him because he's a kid who's him and his mom. I think she's a single
The
mom.
one from Atlanta. We were in the car and you were giving him the spinning
Yes.
thing. Yeah.
Okay. So I like gifting because I don't have a kid, but I like the idea of seeing kids' eyes light up. I never had that with my parents. My eyes never lit up for my dad because he never came over. He was with his wife and his kids. So I can't approach a conversation about my dad or my mom in a way that comes with maybe your experience. You've had your own journey with your parents and you have probably a different relationship with your parents. Some could say it's our ethnic backgrounds are different. You're from a different country. There's different values in different countries that are a lot better than America. And just to be quite honest, I'm not hating on America, but America's fucking ghetto. And socioeconomic situations are different. You grew up in a two-parent household. I grew up in a struggling one-parent white mother in the 80s, raising two black kids who were by two black men who did not love her in the crack era. Like, different. So sometimes my delivery bill, I try to make it entertaining and zhuzh it up with a little comedy, but I know even when I talk to my friends about their relationship with their parents, they be looking at me like, oh my God. Like, I think we had a conversation yesterday. We're going to get to this. We all over the place, but
I know, this is a lot.
this is not a network show where we have to have structured segments. Okay. By the way, Blueface and Jade and Alexis are in the other room. Are they what? Can they hear me, Johnny? No. I think we're not there yet. Oh, okay. Well, they're in the other room. So talk about dysfunction. We're getting ready to get to that. But I love Blueface. You know, I have an affection for Crips and Bloods, by the way. We were talking yesterday about what? Wait, yesterday. Oh.
Family. Was it about family?
What were we talking about yesterday? We were having a conversation yesterday. When we were in there eating. Johnny, do you remember? Kelly, do you remember?
It had stemmed from us having different family.
Oh,
yes.
Thank you, Alexis. Thank you. We were talking about Caitlyn Jenner and Kris Jenner. Take this away real quick. We'll be back to y'all in a minute. Caitlyn Jenner, that motherfucker came out basically saying Kris don't call them anymore. And we were talking about like, go away, shoo. Like, she was married to Bruce and Bruce died. Bruce is dead.
Bruce is dead.
And y'all think I'm playing and just being messy. Like, when you are a trans person that transitions, that's called a dead name. Bruce is dead. Her obligation was to Bruce. She ain't had no kids with Caitlyn. She didn't rub her pussy up against Caitlyn's. She laid down with Bruce, who was on the Wheatie box like this. And she popped that pussy for him and had them 2 little kids. Now, one don't look the way she was looked when she was born because she paid all that money to pump up everything, right? Suck, tuck, and plump. But my thing was, why should they ever have to talk again? And you guys were fucking on my ass because they have kids. Well, those kids are fucking grown. And I said that when your kids grow up and they're grown, that's it. Shoot. You come together. You know, you guys, Caitlyn had an idea. No, were you on my side more, right? Alexis, you know, because she got family issues. You know, daddy, mama, this and that. My family still come together and plan my birthday party. You grown as fuck, okay? You've lived a life. You've been married. Your husband killed your dog. You've been through real shit. Why do you care if your parents at your grown-ass age, by the way, I love her mama. Hey, mama. Why do y'all need to talk? I don't feel a need. And the way I was saying, you guys were looking at me crazy, but the reality is I never saw my parents together. So I don't understand why they ever needed to come together. What y'all gonna talk about? Why my name is some other nigga name on my birth certificate? Because that's the only thing I had an issue with. But you guys felt like there should be a reason why they co-parent.
Yeah, look, I don't think that Kris Jenner should be calling Caitlyn just kikiing on the phone. Like, they don't need to have that relationship. And if that's what Caitlyn is looking for, then she's confused. But I do think that
Caitlyn Jenner's confused. Wow,
we already know that.
Crazy.
But I do think that, you know, if Kylie has a dinner party at her house, there should be a circumstance where the grandchildren don't have to see the like infighting and the drama between the divorced parents. Like, it should be a circumstance where they're able to come together and be cordial. So I think, yes, there should be like a conversation maybe once or twice a year, just that they keep things cordial to make sure life insurance policies are set up and in place and things are good. Yeah, I think those conversations need to be had because, you know, it's whether you like it or not, you are tied to this person forever because you chose to lay down and have a baby with them.
Once your kid is 18, I'm sorry, that tie is dead. Or once you decide to transition into a woman, if I was dating Crip Bay and Crip Bay said, my name is Adina, I didn't sign up for this. I didn't. I'm sorry. And you know what? You guys could say whatever you want. When you go through a change, bye. I'm sorry, because we can talk about it as we're evolving together, but I'm not evolving on that journey with you. Yeah. And I think the problem is we should be so afraid to hurt people's feelings or be honest, but my feelings matter first. I had to check Crip Bay one day because he said, you know, you're going to be my world. I said, no, I'm not. You're going to be your world. I'm going to teach you how to put you before everybody, including me. Because I don't want nobody to be, because I'm going to put me before you. And then after you put you before me, you need to put your daughter before me. And then you can put me. Because then everybody else, you know. And someone said, well, what about before his parents? Yeah, because the life we're building together.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? But everybody, I guess, has different views, right? And no view is right or wrong. I guess it's just a view, right? Unless you're Whoopi and you're talking about the Jewish community. You can't do that. Jesus, how you going to be on a show called The View but can't have one?
Can't have a view.
All right. Well, anyway. K. Michelle has a view. You can put them back up. K. Michelle is saying that she has a love for white men. And then Terrell Owens, this is why he up there. Shout out to you with them candles. We know a white woman taught you how to do that. He said he had bad experiences with black women. Lord. The Lord blessed me with lungs. I know y'all wish my lungs wasn't working out because I just can't stop. I could do this all day. Well, here's what K. Michelle had to say on Revolt's Black Girl Stuff about that.
You saying you're not doing relationships at all?
I don't know what I'm doing, Fred, because I'm not with none of them.
But what you are with, though, friend, you did say that you love you some white men.
I love me a white man.
And I gotta know, like,
I love a white man.
I ain't never had a white man.
Well,
so
you
what
need
is
to
it
try
like?
You need to try it out.
What's your experience?
Let me tell you
What's
this.
your experience?
And people are going to be so angry with me in this sentiment. And I don't give a I will be your problem. I'll be your problem. The thing is, love who loves you. It doesn't matter their race, color, or whatever. I see so many black women that come up to me heartbroken, and they won't date anybody. They have to date a black man. They have to. I get it. But what about just dating a man or dating a woman that loves you?
K. Michelle, you look fucking good. Start with that. I love K. Michelle. You know, I love K. Michelle in real life. I don't like being on a reality show with her, though. Because when I was on Love and Hip Hop, she really be in that reality show shit to where she's a G, she's an OG, she gets it. And, like, she's always, you know, so, like, you can feel the tension. So I never really knew, like, are we good? We not? And she was always, just be very clear, never shaded me, always showed me love. She's always been cool. And we've never had a falling out. But she's one of those people that I liked a lot and wanted to be friends with, but then didn't feel like she wanted to be friends. So I kind of, like,
pulled back,
unfollowed her, and then just didn't look for her anymore. But I still don't follow her. But always love, always respect. I love K. Michelle, and you fucking look good as fuck.
Good.
And I can't wait until you come on the show because you're such a good time. And she's a fucking talker.
And she's a real one. She talks about everything.
Question,
yep.
She's going to answer it. So be careful. But I love her. So I can't wait to look for that. But I also love Terrell Owens too. Let me say that. Terrell's always shown me love for years. I've known Terrell before K. Michelle. I've known Terrell for years. Always love, always respectful. So whatever. I love him too. But they said some controversial shit. Now here's the deal. You love white men. You date a black man, and I will not date a white man. And
have you ever?
I've had sex with white men, and the last white man I had sex with was amazing.
Oh.
Yes, but like, did I want to like go out to eat with him afterwards? No, like no. First of all, our dietary intake is probably different. But I found out later he was a porn star, so number one, that's why the sex was good. So anyway, I'm with Crip Bay now. So I think that if you want to date somebody who's not your race, that's your I want you to be happy. But if you're only dating for people that are not like you or don't look like you because they're white or black, you know? Meaning like I'm a black man, so I'm only gonna date, like Rob. He doesn't date white men because he doesn't like black men. He likes black men too. We fight because now that he sees all the beautiful men that I bring around, he's starting to dibble dabble in my area. Bitch, don't get cut. Because as much as opposites attract and I love you, I will cut you. And Rob and I, you know, we used to have this thing where we would go out and get drunk.
That's mine.
Tell him.
Oh, we would lay claim. That's mine. That's mine. That's mine.
They're all mine. Rob was like, all of them, Jason. And then I remember one time I found a white one. I was like, that's mine. He was like, nah, no. You know, we started fighting over white men. But, you know, not really a fight. But, you know, then there was a time the Mexican called me a monkey.
He did.
That was one of the guys you guys were fighting over?
No, I beat him up.
Oh my God.
No,
Jason told him he was cute. And then he was like, fuck you, you fucking monkey.
Oh, hell no.
And then asked Rob what happened.
As we talked about earlier, I tried to be the voice of reason.
He did. Rob stepped in and took control.
Try to break it up.
I did. But then he said, "You're cute. Are you with him?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "You're a fucking monkey too." And then I was just like,
No, this is Rob. Look, go ahead.
I grabbed the bag out of Jason's hand because he had a little gift bag from an event. I said, "Go ahead."
I said, "You have 2 minutes to leave," because I was working on myself. And he said, "Can you count that high, monkey?"
No.
At the Abbey. And I counted that high. And then when 2 minutes was reached, I handed the bag to the little woman sitting next to me. I said, "Hold this for a second." And I picked up the chair next to me and I wore that bitch out.
It was a bar stool. And
It was a bar stool like the one Kaylin is sitting on, but wooden and heavy. And I picked it up over my head and cracked that bitch 3 good fucking times while everybody was running and screaming. And then somebody snatched a chair out of my hand. And then I punched him in his face and got on top of him with my big ass and punched him until I could not stop punching, until they tackled me and handcuffed me.
They handcuffed you?
And drug me out.
But then they uncuffed me and let him back in.
Oh, yeah. And then the next day I woke up in the morning and tracked him down and got on the phone and said, "I'm putting on my sweats. Meet me at the park. I'm going to beat your ass." Again. Because here's the deal. First of all, I was overweight and I had confidence, but I was very insecure. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Did you know I was insecure?
Yeah.
How, bitch?
Listen, like you still you say things often, like you're like, "Do I look fat? Do I look this?" You ask those questions, and that's why I'm like,
Not anymore. This Ozempic kicked in. I'm snatch, bitch. No, but yes, but like, did you know at the time I was insecure?
I would. Yeah,
I didn't lack confidence, but I had insecurities.
Yeah.
He hit that trigger. We all have a trigger.
That's wild. And
No, he hit that
disrespectful as
trigger, and Rob is a friend. This is why you gotta love Rob. I'm telling you, you learn to listen to the people you know that really care about you. See, I'm getting goosebumps because see, all of us have a bunch of people around us that we don't know. We think they do, but we don't know. That's why they're hanging out with your exes and shit, trying to mail stuff off from FedEx and Amazon. So Rob tried to save him, but when I woke up the next day, I said, "Meet me at," because he had pulled that trigger. I beat him so bad that there was blood. I mean, was I hitting him with that chair?
Yes.
Crack, 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 crack. And then I weighed like 300 pounds. So I get on top of him. Once I get on top of you, it's like a sumo wrestler. I'm not getting up. You're not getting up. And his head was on the cement. So every time I punched him, his head would hit the cement. Anyway, I woke up in the morning. I tracked him down through my friend, got him on the phone and said, "Put on your sweats. I'm putting on sweats. Meet me at the park. I'm going to beat your ass." Because that's what we did back home. We would probably meet up with it, which is crazy because you can die. But I wasn't thinking about that because I just wanted to beat him up because he called me a monkey and he called me fat. Do you remember? He called me fat. That's the part of the story I never told. Have you realized when I've told that story over the years?
Yeah, you don't.
I leave the fat part out because it really did bother me. But now I'm so fucking snatched
now
and
you
cute
can flex.
and rich. Like, it's like, what? That part I used to leave out because that was and I'm glad when I would tell the story, you never brought it up. Yeah. And I know you caught it too. But anyway, he didn't want to meet me at the park. He was very apologetic. And honestly, I told him I don't care when I see him beat you. I never met him. I never see him again, and I won't beat him up. He was drunk or whatever. He apologized. He was very apologetic. But I say all that to say, in that instance, what I learned about the human behavior is that people are so unpredictable that for me, I don't choose to date outside my race where in a fight, something could come up or be said because he wasn't thinking monkey was a trigger for a black man. We've seen Spice and Erica Mena play out. People talk in different ways, even with people saying boy. I used to have a thing back in the day in school where people say, "Boy, I am a boy. I'm a young boy. But if you're a white man, you don't get to call me boy." And I used to be real sensitive. And even today when I advocate for blackness or being black owned or whatever, I find myself having to say, I'm not anti-white and I'm not racist or prejudiced. I just believe in black. And I believe in black ownership and I stand for black excellence, whatever. But do you ever have to think about when you're in an argument with Max, how you're communicating so that way you don't go into a place that could be optically perceived as something anti-black?
I don't think about it with Max, but I think about it here with Jason, because Jason was always remind me. But
I mean, because if you bring me Q-tips, I'm gonna start singing.
Oh my God!
The cotton, you know.
See, it's just I cannot. But I've dated everyone I dated an Indian guy, a Puerto Rican guy. My longest relationship was with a Mexican guy. I've tried to date Croatian guys. I've never been with like a white guy though. That's not my thing.
Okay. You're not attracted.
No.
See, and that's
I don't like the. Yeah.
You don't like what? Don't say pink meat.
That's what I'm saying.
It just looks like uncooked chicken. Like shrimp, like a shrimp cocktail. The curl.
Just continue.
Anyways.
But you don't date Max just because of his dick.
No.
Because I do think there's a perception that people only like to date black men for their penises, not their struggles, right? So like Azalea. By the way, I gave Azalea Banks my phone number. I don't know why I did that. I blocked her though. I couldn't. 18-minute voice messages. Like,
oh God. But no.
What were we talking?
About
Azalea Banks. Iggy Azalea. She never stood for black issues, but she always wanted a black man. Because it was like, you want that dick, but you don't want the struggle that come with the dick. Some of y'all know.
Jeffree Star too.
Well, that skeleton. But the reality is that I feel like you attract to who you're attracted to, but then you can have a preference that doesn't make you anti-black, anti-white, anti-whatever, right? But you choose to date, you like white men because what? Like, what is your preference? Why do you have, because you're black from Chicago, black parents, black church, FAMU, black HBCU, but like white.
Black company.
I don't only.
You prefer white.
No, it's not true.
His biggest crush is Mexican guy.
Today. Do you know, this is many iterations of Rob. Rob has gotten more black as he's worked here.
Correct. Because we're teaching him about gunna.
Yeah.
We're talking about gunna.
Gunplay.
Gunplay.
Gunplay for him is like an anal dildo or something like that.
I learned about all the gun people, yes, here. But I don't have a preference for one race over the other. I'm not attracted to one race more than the other. It's just not the situation. It's been across the board with me from childhood to now. I've dated people of all races. I've never had, a preference for one. And I do take issue with this idea of preference, because I feel like this idea of preference, specifically in LA, West Hollywood, this idea of preference is thinly veiled in racism. So I do think you have to approach dating outside of your race with some kind of connection to the person, because there has to be some understanding of what I've gone through culturally and the skin I live in culturally. Because if I'm out and I get pulled over and the conversation is different from what you typically experience, I don't want the person in the car with me to interject and say that I'm being sensitive or I'm viewing it a certain way, because they don't live in brown skin, so they don't understand my experience. So I do feel like it has to be a person who has a understanding and a respect for the differences that we have that make us different in the different skins that we live in.
All right. We got to go. Look, I got Blueface and Jaden waiting in the other room. That has been a great show. We're going to do 2 episodes of the Jason Lee podcast every week and 1 episode of the Jason Lee show. So make sure that you're subscribed here to our YouTube channel, following us on all social media. Over there on Facebook, we're real active. Y'all be in the chats and, making sure that all the clips go viral. So follow us there, and Instagram, the only Jason Lee, the Jason Lee show, and Hollywood Unlocked. Until then, I'm out. Peace.
The Jason Lee Podcast.